I'm speaking, we're Caucasian Jewish people, and now you have people in Africa saying that they're the real people of Israel. It can't be ruled out at all. I'd like to bring up a few specific examples, because they're going to be game changers. Deep into Africa, and if you look now, you're seeing people who are most likely descendants of those slaves who kept true. One of them wrote letters to Israel when it became a state, and they said, we're Israelites out in Africa. Everyone laughed at them, and they said, African Israelites, these people are just trying to jump on the first world country bandwagon. They're living in a third world country, they got nothing. We're coming to Israel, we got innovation, technology. So they're trying to get on this train because there's such a thing called the right of return. All descendants of the Jewish people from around the world were able to move to Israel. So they said we were also. A few people took it serious and went out there and started studying them. And a professor from Duke University went out there and did DNA testing on them. These gentlemen, a large percent of them, have the Y chromosome to be Kohanim, to be priests. Now, if anyone doesn't know, a priest is a specific family clan of the nation of Israel who come from Aaron, the brother of Moses, who was the first priest. And anyone descended from Aaron has the status title priest. And we found that these men in this village in South Africa called Lemba, L-E-M-B-A, carry this genetic marker to let us know that they share the same as from the Sephardic and the Ashkenaz and the population of the people in Israel. They share the same exact DNA marker. It's mind-blowing. So everyone kind of got humbled a little bit, who laughed at them and said, now what? Now what do we do about this? This could have tremendous implications. Another area in Africa you have something big happening is in Nigeria. You have the Igbo people. There's 40 million of them, also Christians. Like I spoke about before, how that could happen to the children of Israel very easily. But also a lot of them are now coming out and converting back or adopting the rules of the Torah without all the paganism that they've been practicing for hundreds of years. And where it gets interesting is, in America, there was a slave trade. And a lot of the slaves, a very high percentage of them, came from Western Nigerian ports. And in America today, you see a very large movement of African Americans who say that they're the real chosen people, that they're the children of Israel, they're the Judeans. So what, are they just trying to create an identity for themselves because they were slaves, or is there really something here? And the answer is, most likely there is something there. And most likely, maybe that they were the original Israelites, or maybe that the Jewish people today, who are white, Caucasian people, came in a little bit later on. And now you have people in Africa saying that they're the real people of Israel. It can't be ruled out at all. We know they were sold into slavery. We know now that they're fulfilling prophecies by saying, we're coming back.
How to set aside what's real from the fake. Your third eye that God gave is the doorway. Don't ignore your higher self, it'll tell you right when something more going on than meets the eye. Most people head down or in the clouds, don't wanna hear the truth, watch how they melt down. I wanna kick the game to you cause it's so profound. Want you to be enlightened, veil coming down.
Man, I'm a little under the weather right now, y'all. So excuse the nasaliness. Just got a little something to say. Just want to kick some shit. Let me tell y'all this story, right? Fuck it, this is the first time I'm speaking out about it. But goddamn it, I know it's a lot of people that wonder what the fuck happened. Y'all remember how I was messing with Snow Gang, right? ETHENA and them and all that, right? I'm gonna tell everybody what happened. If I get some heat for this, then so be it. I stand 10 toes. I'll defeat anybody that's posting a white Jesus.
They gave you whitewashed Bible stories, but the facts prove Moses, Solomon, and even Adam were black. Moses. He was raised as an Egyptian prince. Ancient Egyptians were African. How's a white man blending in there?
Huh?
And in Exodus 4:6, his hand turned leprous, white as snow, and then back to normal. If he was already white, how would that be a miracle? Solomon, he literally says in Song of Solomon 1:5, I am black and beautiful. Not tan, not sun-kissed. Black. Ethiopia even traces its entire royal bloodline to him. And Adam? Genesis 2:7. God made him from the dust of the ground. What color is rich soil? Dark brown to black. Even science agrees. The first humans were African. So why do they keep showing you whitewashed images?
Now, people all the ones that's gonna skip through all of the little video footage, right? Because motherfuckers ain't gonna wanna learn a little something about somebody else for a change. That ain't all fun. It's too serious, right? It's too surreal. They don't want to acknowledge. They don't want to stomach and swallow, because it challenges everything you believe in. Hey, I get it, but this is gonna be enlightening for those who honestly watch it. If you honestly give a fuck about black people in our culture, you'd actually watch it. If you actually give a fuck about the true nature of this video, The whole point is a lot of white people have no energy for us in this way, when it comes to us in this way, in these ways. Because the whole world has been brought up on white supremacy. It stir a lot of people's soul. You know what I mean? Oh, I don't want to hear that. Oh, that's bullshit. Now, I'm going to need y'all to know these characters in the Bible, if they were all black, and my whole thing is we predate the Bible. And so I'm saying that creation story cannot be about us. Right? I know some may say, well, that sounds like a contradiction. So I always say that the stories in the Bible are of our ancestors. They took them stories and created the Bible. That doesn't mean that they started there. They used our stories, correct. That's not when black people started though. And so that's why we predate the Bible, and at the same time we don't start at the Bible. They're using our stories to make it seem like life is starting right here. Because our genetics is 200,000 years old, but it's really older than that. We can actually trace all the way back to source, the cosmos, what the cosmos is made out of, and all the shit you find out there, you find it in us. We have neuromelanin. One of the 3 melanins that we have is neuromelanin. The neuro is word part for nerves, right? A neural connection, if you will, right? So literally, the neural part of it is literally what allows us, between that and our pineal gland, to actually connect with source. In essence, it actually allows us to connect to the Most High, to God. Okay? Period. All right, so here's the story, right? I was a part of a group, her group, even though it was supposed to be portrayed like it was our group. But at the end of the day, it was her group, and she made that very clear, very apparent. This is why I don't really do groups anymore. I've watched groups happen several times over, remade, weaned out, remade, weaned out, remade, you know, then it like every time it gets remade over time, like it gets sliced and sliced and sliced till it's just like key people, and then it starts over again. I've watched this shit happen like 3 times. I don't even know, bro. But anyway, fine, whatever. I get it, you know. So you gotta weed motherfuckers out sometime, right? But just saying, for y'all to peep the loop right there. And y'all know how I feel about loops anyway. Just on the spiritual sense, like that's a loop. And it's never ever evolving or growing into anything either. You know what I'm saying? So it just kind of reflects a stagnant situation in a sense, just being unbiased. So one day, me and one of the other chat members, it was around Christmas time, and mind you, this person used to be, she used to be a witch, and then she turned into a Catholic. And I remember when she had a friend that actually did that exact same thing. They were both witches, and she turned into a Christian. And I remember like times of us like, yeah, why would she do that? Like, yo, you don't know how your ancestors gonna react to that. You being a witch and you didn't switch to like she was gonna suffer some kind of wrath. Like you can't just stop being a witch and just think you're gonna be a Christian. Like it doesn't work like that. Like we used to have these conversations about our own friend. You know what I'm saying? Only for her to then turn around and be what we talked about someone else for doing. If that makes sense. Okay, so I'm talking to one of the girls in the chat, and like I said, it was around Christmas time, and she popped in like, hey, happy holidays to whoever that celebrated, blah blah blah. I was like, yeah, nah. I was like, I'm dropping anti-Christmas video every year. Right? So knowing my conscious ass, she knows me, she know who I am. I ain't never changed, I ain't never switched. You know what I'm saying? So you know, I'm like, I post that video every year, you feel me? And blah, 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 whatever else, right? And so I went on to say like, you know, like shit, after realizing that the day they say Yeshua was born on, that's not the actual day. It's not Christmas. It's not. And this is common knowledge, right? You can look on Google. You can even ask pastors, because I have. Have you? Okay. And then I found out that the whole Christmas celebration was come from Roman Saturnalia, but they just dressed it up and made it look pretty. When it really comes from Krampus, that whole demonic story of Krampus stealing children, dragging them to hell. All right, instead of that, it's an innocent old white man that come to have milk and cookies with your kid in the middle of the night. I mean, this nigga sneaking down the chimney to have cookies and milk with your kid. It just, so they spent it to make it seem innocent or whatever. And then you sit your kids on that grown man's lap to take a picture on. It's just like Roman Saturnalia when they used to present their kids, okay, as an offering. It's just spent. I'm telling y'all, it's spent. All right, go look this shit up. Go research. You feel me? It's paganism. So, I said, yeah, and then I realized that that ain't the birthday, and then I said, I realized the celebration comes from Roman Saturnalia and all that weird shit, and then, upon several messages later, whatever, she pops in, and was like, hey, what up, y'all, what up, gang, whatever, da-da-da, and we all like, hey, we ain't doing shit, just me and her, you know what I mean, not to put the other person's name out there, because that doesn't matter. They know who they are, right? So she decides to go read up. I didn't tell her to. Nobody told her to. She did it at her own volition. And when I said that was a cue to maybe not go look, But she go look. All right, she entitled to that, right? She looks and she doesn't slide in my DM. She instantly checks me in front of everybody in the group. She says, oh, we're not going to be talking about things that offends other people's beliefs. What? What is offensive? This is common knowledge. To the enlightened mind, granted, but this is so you one of them Christians that just jump straight into it. You don't recognize, acknowledge no other world history. All of a sudden, it just disappeared. You don't know where fucking shit comes from, where things originated. None of that holds any weight. How the fuck is that possible? That's like me going outside and be like arguing a motherfucker that the sky is purple all of a sudden. It just, what? Okay. I feel like she could have laughed it off like, yeah, we know Aki conscious ass. Here she go. Because I'm your sister. I'm not ever trying to be malicious. I'm not ever trying to be nothing negative. But you know who I am and what I stand for. Then why the fuck I'm in this group then? Why you got me in here then if I gotta walk on eggshells like that? I'm talking about to common sense shit though. Like, I'm too much of a conscious being to be out here walking dead. Because if you're not conscious, then you're what? So in my mind, I'm like, really? Because this is the same person that used to agree with me that all this shit was paganism. So can you imagine the upset within me that I felt that she checked me about some shit that she know to be true, but because you want to live in denial, you put me on Front Street in front of everybody. Okay. I said, hey, you know what? My apologies. My bad. It ain't gonna happen again. She like, you ain't gotta apologize. So she took away my willingness to apologize to her because she didn't want to feel obligated to apologize to me. That's what I realized in hindsight. But, she discouraged me from apologizing. Okay. And so I just simply said, it ain't gonna happen to you, and you ain't gotta worry about it happening again. And what I meant by that was I was basically on my way out the door. It was a couple group calls following that. I was just very distant, very, energy was different, energy changed, you know what I'm saying? And by her used to claim empathicnism, I thought she would have felt that and be like, let me reach out to sis. She seemed a little different. Maybe I came off like something I didn't realize. She has no shadow work, no self-awareness, not just prideful, just all ego, just, I'm not wrong. I'm right. I'm never wrong. Just that whole vibe, which I never would have thought because you know, I always had the ability to humble myself, even if I didn't feel like I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? To a friend, I still say, cause you my friend, like, I'm gonna still be like, yo, my bad even if it's my bad. It ain't gotta be I'm sorry. It ain't gotta be my apologies. I'll take my bad. It's the fact that you can acknowledge and show humility. You can come off your pedestal for a change. You know what I'm saying? To a loved one. So, quote unquote. At that, right? So then out of nowhere, after like I said, those group calls, my energy was different. I still didn't get any reaching out from her. It was like she kept continuing on in the chat like nothing happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm just sitting there feeling like I've been childed, if you will. Like, you know, I've been made to go sit in the corner type shit. And it's like, at the end of the day, what did I just really get in trouble for? Saying something that was right, not something incorrect. Like, that reminds me of the system we live in. You get judged, and you get attacked, and you get shunned for, or shut down for speaking the truth. And so it was just a lot of triggering feelings for me in there, especially being black. Y'all know what I mean? And so, and y'all know the black power person that I am too, on top of that. Like, you know, but I never, like, if y'all noticed, when I was dealing with her, I never went full force. I never went full force like I have now. When I let that shit go, I went on, like, y'all see me in ways that y'all didn't know I can get. I can feel like, I can be like, all of that. Because I stopped holding back for another's comfort. I stopped holding back for somebody else's, worried about somebody else's feelings. You know, because once you show me you cannot care about my feelings, then I was like, well, shit, now I can just go ahead and move accordingly. You know, that was kind of where I was at with it. So I ended up sending a message saying that, you know, I'm not into groups anymore. I'm leaving, and however I said it. And I just exited the group. And then shortly after that, they still hung in there for a minute, and I just jumped into my black power, went back home. I just went back home. You know what I'm saying? Like, ended up in spaces I didn't belong, but doggone it, I'm back home.
Ain't no faking me, integrity in what I do. Though I'm not perfect, I don't pretend, but I'm nobody's fool. False purpose, don't follow trends, you just a tool. No notice when it ends, I'ma still play it cool. On the surface, fake friends, so I used it as fuel. Protected for my energy, never know who is who. You say you're not my enemy, then show me the proof. When it comes down to it, I see what you choose. Can't keep me around, be on different altitudes. Aboriginal R zone on planet Kai, this our throne. Africa on the megaphone, no repeat, they not alone. I'm sticking to what's true. I don't do that unknown. Ended up in spaces I didn't belong, but doggone it, I'm back home. From the cosmos, hey, we not no spoke. From the cosmos.
Over time, I noticed, like, she fell off from following me. She blocked or deactivated, whatever the fuck it is, Facebook, and, you know, meanwhile, you know, her new man or whatever, then, you know, he still was hanging in there. Layman, he was still hanging in there, and a couple other ones, right? Another white person and a black person, they were still hanging in there. All right. And then over time, I kept, you know, doing me, posting what I post, blah, 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 waking my people up, encouraging us to seek knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Realize your history, know how old your genetics is, and how old, you know, what we come from, because the Bible and other races of people just popped up. Like, when you think about the timeline as a whole, they're the newborns. They are all these other species of people you see, they just got here. Like, only about 6 to 7 maximum thousand years ago. We are 200,000 years old. And this is what I need people to understand. While y'all up here trying to adhere to religion and not realizing that all that is stories from our ancestors. So while you praising these people with a white image, I'm gonna need you to correct that if you gonna fuck with me. Otherwise, keep your racist ass over there then. Keep stay over there. We straight. We done. Like, I can't deal with people that want to post an image because of their comfort. Like, if it was the truth, it was the other way around, it was the truth, I'd be saying the truth. And I have that white man on my wall if that was the truth. If it was the truth, I would. Seriously. No lie. But why do you think the word natural is associated with everything natural is associated with black people? Huh? Where that word come from? Y'all wouldn't even have no sense of God if it wasn't for us and our ancestors. Y'all still be living like savages. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
What we don't have in our history books is that the civilization we have in Europe today was brought to us by black people. Even black people don't know that. Even many black people don't know that. They don't know that the Moors, they were West Africans and North Africans and Central Africans that came to Europe and ruled Spain. They brought civilization to us. They showed us how to use soap, how to be clean, how to behave like a decent human being, you know? All these things we didn't know that before the Moors brought civilization to Spain. Did you know that the Moors ruled in Spain for 700 years? Where is that in our history books? It's nowhere to be found. Because why? If you are giving black people that power of having once ruled over white people, wouldn't black people start like kind of questioning, oh, we were once at that point of having such a power in a white man's country over white people, and where are we now?
Now let's take a look. Look at this picture right here. Clearly, that's not who claiming to be America today. This clearly look like what we call a Negro. Look at it. Look how tall he is, muscular he is. Look at the medallions. Native Americans don't rock jewelry like this. They don't even rock jewelry like this today. I got a whole bunch of people that I know that rock swag just like this. You know this is not Africa. Look at the American flag. Look at the feathers, red, white, and blue. Red, white, and blue always been an American color. All they did was hijack it.
A lot of the Greeks, like you had Constantinople, what's this, Alexander the Great, they burned a lot of the libraries and shit in Africa. All the Greek philosophers got their philosophies from Africa.
They went to school.
Socrates,
They went to
Aristotle.
school in Kemet,
Yeah,
in
it was from
Kemet.
the Africans. Aesop, all of those Aesop fables, they were all African fables, man. And then they brought it to Greece and then just didn't give any knowledge to Africans, but they studied that in Africa, sure.
They went to school in Kemet.
In Kemet, Timbuktu, the first university was in Africa, the University of Timbuktu.
And then they got you thinking the only time we got here was through slavery. Yo,
Black Japanese.
Yes.
The Negroes from Japan. Black. These women and these soldiers. Black. With Japanese. Yo,
Japanese
son.
features.
Yeah. They're
high cheekbones.
Black Japanese.
Black.
They just don't show it. But they're, and remember this too. The Asiatic face, by the way, comes from the San people from South Africa. You saw the way Mandela looked like a black Chinese man?
Yes.
That's where all Asians come from. The San people, who are the oldest people on the planet.
We ended up having a little conversation after I left the group. I didn't screenshot because I'm not that type of person. My first instinct isn't to, ooh, let me get a receipt. That's a low vibration. I don't really fuck with that like that. Basically, I said to her that I felt like, you could have came to me, right, instead of in the group. And she gonna say, well, I felt like instead of just like you felt like you could have came, I could have came to you, you could have came to me. Now, hold on, wait a minute, y'all. Ain't that the shit you say when you expressing opposition to a person? That's like me saying like, well, I felt like you could have helped me out a little bit. And I'll be like, well, I felt like you could have helped me out a little bit. So you're making this about you when I'm the one that was checked. I'm the one that was embarrassed. I'm the one that was put on Front Street. I'm the one who, what you said really was directed at. For real. Because the other girl didn't say what I had said that made her say what she said. So it was really directed at me, even though she said she kept it general. She didn't want to probably make it seem like, but she was. She was. I'm a third eye being. Ain't no time to talk around me over my head and shit like that. Right after I got checked. Maybe not right after, but a little bit after I got checked, I hit up the girl who I was talking to, and I was just expressing to her like, damn, that's fucked up how she, you know what I'm saying, did me like that in front of y'all. And you know what I'm saying? She was like, yeah, and whatever she said, that's neither here nor there. And, I was just venting because she felt me. You know what I'm saying? She's a teacher, number one. So that's probably why we get along, because she's a knowledge seeker as well. All right. So, and she knows a lot of shit about a lot of shit. She's hip to a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? That most people aren't. She sees the world, you know what I'm saying? Not just through one lens type of thing. You feel me? So, I just said it to her because in that moment, I didn't feel like I really had someone that understood my side. So naturally, as just basic nature, you tend to go to the person who you felt safe, connected, in alignment with, you know. So it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to go around and I'm going to sneak talk about the situation with the other person. It wasn't even like that, right? Right. So me and her had that conversation. So pause. So when me and Athena end up having our conversation, and she was saying, well, just like you saying I could have came to you, you could have came to me. Like, that's what you say to a friend instead of I didn't think or I didn't realize. Like, that's someone with a soft heart. But when you got a heart of stone, you gonna come back combative. But that's her nature. It seemed like to everything that's an opposition to her. She turns into like a fucking brick wall. You know what I'm saying? And so she brought up the fact that I had that conversation with old girl. So that means she told her about the conversation, or to say the least, which I don't care nothing about. I don't mind. That's the one thing about me. I'll never say shit that I ain't willing to repeat at the end of the day, because there's always a chance that it will surface. So that's why I always make sure, is this something I'm willing to, you know what I'm saying, let be repeated? You feel me? Otherwise, if I'm ashamed for it to get out, then I won't say it. You know what I'm saying? I can't say it. I shouldn't be saying it then, right? So, and I just simply told her what I said to y'all. Like, yo, like, you were the one that, so of course I'm going to talk to her. Why would I talk to you? And you the one just, you know what I'm saying, hurt my feelings. Like, you know how you want one friend hurt your feelings, like say y'all all friends, that friend hurt your feelings and you just tend to talk to the other friend or whatever. Anyways, just saying it was that feel, right? So it wasn't like, you know, drama. I'm going to go talk about her to her or something. No. So she brought that up and I was like, well, this is why, you know what I'm saying? And just basically her whole energy in the messages was just basically, I got a lot. And I even mentioned that pride and ego, and she talking about she has no pride, and she tried to flip it on to me. And I'm just like, yo, am I the one that cut into you? You know, and I was starting to get a bit of narcissistic energy too, right there. Because the moment that you have to realize you have to say you're sorry is like admitting that what I was saying initially is correct. Which creates a contradiction between her and her religion. So she can't tell me she's sorry. You see, and so y'all, I stepped back big time. I said my little last whatever, and I said, you know, you need to start enlightening your mind. You know what I'm saying? It's more than just one knowledge out here. It's more than just the Bible. It's more than just, you need to learn all history or something. You need to start looking at, you know, I don't know. I was just telling her she need to start her enlightenment journey. And I just said, Aki out, Black Power out, or whatever the fuck I said at the end. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I'm not going to live in stupidity for anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you want to do, cool. But I'm not going to live in that. You feel me? So, she has sent, like, a couple more messages. But it was, like, at that point, you know how you just can see it as a whole, and I was just like, there's no point in going back and forth to a person that has deaf ears to your voice. This is an insert. So upon actually going back and looking, I guess she had deactivated her account, so all the messages look to appear to have been deleted. I thought you had to specifically delete them for it to show up like that. Like, yeah, you can deactivate, but I didn't know your messages disappeared too. So I'm pretty sure she probably, this bitch doesn't even know what the fuck she's talking about. I bet you she'd do it like that probably in private, but she wouldn't. She's holy and thou now, all saved now, so she might not say it like that. But I don't know. I caught a TikTok video of her cussing the motherfuckers out, her former witch friends or whatever, cussing the motherfuckers the fuck out. So I mean, but dog, hey, that's how it looked to me. The fuck, that's how it looked. Looked like they was deleted. So that's how I'm gonna call it. So it's just him that's a deleting ass motherfucker. Okay. So I just went on and screenshotted them. Here they are. She wasn't hearing me as a friend. She wasn't hearing that I was hurt. She wasn't hearing that, you know what I'm saying, that you know, she didn't have any bend, any give, any leeway, any passivity, it was just very arrogant and cocky and I'm not wrong type of energy. And that's usually what I have seen from her from enemies or ops or drama and beef instances that she's had that I've been a part of throughout the course of time of being her friend. I never thought I was going to be on the receiving end. Now, granted, I'm not saying like it was an all out, cussing and she, no, like most beef or whatever go, but it was a energy that one energy that I just did not think I would feel from a friend or from her, She was very reserved, but you could feel the standoffishness and the I'm not wrong energy, kind of like entitled, the entitledness that Black people, we have experienced from other races of people, over time, right? And all of her responses, she keeps bouncing things back at me. My whole thing is, you did not have to do that in the group. You did not have to do that in the group. You didn't. Whether I could have came to you later or whether you could have came to me later, you didn't have to do it like that initially. And that's what my whole point is. Can anybody understand that? I'm not crazy. Because it's always a way to do things and a way not to do things. Period. Just like it's always a way to say things. Okay? And just because she said it all nice, that doesn't just erase the fact of how she did it though. Like I'm too and then like I said, plenty of times when she done talked about religion, not one time did I say, hey, I don't want to hear that. She was on a phone call one time, matter of fact, she was talking about Jesus, calling him Jesus, y'all, and I ain't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because I know she just unaware. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mean that with any disrespect. But, I was calling him Jesus too. You know what I'm saying? But it's called enlightenment for a reason. And we was talking about a story and stuff about him one time. And I was laughing at one of them because she was talking about how they had set up a marketplace in the church and Jesus came and knocked all that shit down. It was something like that, right? And I laughed. I was like, just like a nigga. Just like a Black person. I might not have said nigga to her, but I'm just like a Black person. I said, that's how you know he Black. I think I wanted to say just like a nigga, but I realized who I was talking to. You know what I'm saying? And she kind of paused and she said something about complexion. So in other words, I guess she's trying to say he ain't Black. Like, I can't remember how that exactly went, but them key things is what I do remember. And so in my mind, I'm like, oh, she think he olive or, I'm like, that's the white Jesus narrative, period. There's no way he could have blended in Egypt if he was olive. I don't even care if he was olive. They still know us from our features. They know us. And they know when you don't look like us, even if you're the same shade as us. It's just, we have distinct features. There's only one way he can be able to blend in amongst our people, is if he was our people. Period. I have no problem with apologizing when I'm wrong, if I'm wrong. You see what I'm saying? I don't have a problem at all. So here go my apologies for accusing her of deleting messages. Because, I was going to say, she never pegged me to be the delete message type. That I can't say. That's why I was shocked. And, it added to the fuel for a minute there. It did. But it's just him. So, everything else still standing about what I said, though. So, I left it alone. Kept doing me. And then, it's been a long time. And just recently, I, tagged her little boyfriend or whatever on this post because I just wanted to see, because I realized because we was friends on Facebook, and I don't know if she deactivated it or blocked me. It don't really matter, but it was probably because of me. If she deactivated it, it's probably because of me. But who knows? She could have just been tired of social media, right? I ain't gonna give myself that much credit that I can make a motherfucker deactivate they shit, Just so it wouldn't look like she blocked me, she probably just rather deactivate. And that's where I'm at with it. But anyway, I just recently tagged Layman in a post The one about me talking about the Avatar movie. And you know what I'm saying? How our genetics present and how they're present in a lot of other people. And so the point of the pictures was to show all of that diversity, to show who we are all. We are so many, like we look so different. You wouldn't even think them people was our people. Yes, all of that is our people. You see our genetics shine through almost every other culture that just got here. So that means the Indonesians, the white people, Irish people, fucking Arabs, fucking like everybody. Our genetics is present somewhere within them, and sometimes all mixed up and mixed together. And I was just showing all of the like singularities within our species. You know what I'm saying? It was very beautiful. And I just simply asked him, did you know this about us? Talking about how like we're every hue. You know what I'm saying? Damn near. And I was like saying how the pictures were beautiful. Aren't these pictures beautiful? And cause I noticed that he unfollowed me. And he was, like I said, he was one of the ones hanging in there, but he unfollowed me. So I unfollowed back. But I just wanted to see something, right? See where his mind was at. So I tagged him and shit. And the first thing he said was, why am I tagged in this? Some old standoffish, negative ass, just cold. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never done anything to you specifically for you to respond like that. You could have actually answered what I asked you. Those are beautiful pictures. He could have just said that and left it alone. And I would have been like, okay. So I said I was just asking you a question or something like that. And then I also said there's a difference between a mention and a tag. It's not like I tagged, and I quoted it, tagged you in it. So he was like, but yeah, I'm trying to figure out what was the point of it because it has nothing to do with me. But go on. Like I'm going off. What? No. I referred him to the video where I was going off. I said, no, this isn't me going off. This is just me simply asking you a question and wondering why you're running all around the motherfucker. It is going to hurt you to say something nice? Is it going to hurt you, white boy, to say something nice about this black excellence? It's going to hurt you? Shit crazy, man. So I goes back to look. Because after he said that, I say, I simply asked you, did you know this about us, that we're every hue, that we can show up as every hue, and how beautiful the pictures were. I leave, come back, all the messages erased. I'm like, wow. Now, that lets me know that you would be afraid of how it would make you look, to say the least. Otherwise, why you delete messages? Stand on that shit. Stand on it. So I had to get this off my chest, y'all. You feel me? It feels good too, because I know a lot of people have been wondering what the fuck was going on. And like I said, I'm ready for whatever coming my way. It's nothing. And after this, I have let it go. Because I think I have been needing to say this, y'all. I've been needing to fucking get this shit out, man. You feel me? Because motherfuckers not about to sit up here and make me, like, feel, shun me. Like, make me feel shunned and shit. The fuck I do? The fuck I do? You know what I'm saying? Blocking, deactivating, unfollowing, whatever like what? All because I'm telling my people that y'all go back before the Bible. Probably telling motherfuckers I'm evil or something. You probably one of them motherfuckers too. Don't know what the fuck you talking about. You adhering to a book that's missing 22 books out the motherfucker. You ain't even got the whole story, baby. You ain't even got the whole picture. You can't. Because it ain't in there. They took it out on purpose to swindle your ass into a slave mentality. And sweet and utter ignorant bliss. The way he wanted Adam and Eve to be. If it wasn't for her eating that damn fruit, you wouldn't have no mind. Your man wouldn't have no mind. None of us would be. We all be walking around this bitch walking dead. Just aimlessly not knowing shit. But praise that God, though, right? For punishing her for the thing that allows you to have the motherfucking mind that you have now. All right. Teaching a woman is what cursed the world and cursed man and cursed where we come from. Black woman is God. Where we come from, black women are on pedestals. Where we come from, even in the Bible, wisdom it's a feminine energy, even in the damn Bible. But where I come from, our women, like in Egypt especially, to get the throne was to get it through the woman. You obtain the throne through the woman. Like we was the priestesses. You know what I'm saying? We was the people that they came to for counsel and guidance. They asked for our advice. That's what we used to be to our black man. That's what we used to be to our community, our tribes, our lands, our people. That's what the woman was. The woman was everything. 100% of births come from a woman's womb. 100. So all of a sudden, this magical story of one being grown in the most unnatural way, it sounds Frankensteinish. I'm just going to say it like that. And who are inorganically made people? Who are the people that look like they got a whole bunch of different shit mixed up in their ass? We don't have animal genetics. I'm going to leave that like that. That's why we all look the way we look. That's why because we organic.
We were master mathematicians. We were master astrologists. We were master scientists when it came to the cosmos and the universe and being one with nature. We allow a group of entities who are artificially created and outside of that construct to come in and reconstruct our reality predicated upon a fictitious paradigm which suits them being at the highest platform within this hierarchy.
And I ain't trying to say this because I ain't trying to flex on nobody. I ain't trying to, but see, certain mentalities from white people, it kicks this up in me because they cannot stomach certain things. So it's my job to make you swallow it. And I'm not the only one. It's a lot of us spreading knowledge, the truth of origins, who we are, where we come from, where other species of people come from. Because it was just all us. It was. I mean, what the fuck is something wrong with that? Am I racist for saying it was just only us? Huh? It was. So then, where does other people come from? Well, there is a story in the Bible that's called the creation story about how some people was created. Oh, and that's about the same time that these other race of people, and then over time, other races happen, but like, that's when they start. I'm gonna need you to put 2 and 2 together. I can't stress that shit enough. Period. You don't y'all know you could cut the hair off a lassie, put it on a wig, put it on a white woman's head, and you wouldn't know the difference. Why do their hair fall down when they turn upside down? When they flip upside down, why does their hair fall? I don't want to hear nothing about our hair. It's just our hair. And no, it's dead. It's dead. Our hair is electrical. And again, not saying that with any kind of pun intended or negative connotation behind it. It's just esoteric facts. Period. I'm going to need you to go look up the word esoteric if you don't know what it means. You feel me? Like, why do you, like when a person gets electrocuted, what their hair look like after? Okay, what does our hair look like in its natural state? Like, for example, afros. Oh, okay. Our hair is electrical. It's alive. Like, this shit is deep. Like, and I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, we came from y'all. Like you trying to get away from them animal genetics. No, you came from us through grafting. You came through us through the use of our blood and our genetics, but you didn't evolve from us. No. You go somewhere where it was warmer and go somewhere colder. As long as that sun is kicking out vitamin D and melanin all over the place, you're not going to turn white? I don't care if it's cold. The sun is what gives us our melanin. Quit fucking playing with me. So no, that's out of the picture too. That's like saying if a gorilla migrate to Antarctica, it will evolve into a polar bear. I say that in one of my songs. Like, bro, that shit is just impossible.
That's crazy horse they ass, watch them panic, send me a talk or regeneration tactics. See from my blood how you was grafted, no white people don't come from Africa. Miss me with that creation story, let's debunk the evolution theory. That's like saying if a gorilla go to Antarctica, it'll evolve into a polar bear. Our fingerprints and hair same shape as galaxies did that with grace. And 1 gram of our blood can store like a USB hub of data. 13.5 billion years, that's almost how old the universe is. If science is spirituality seen, and spirituality is science unseen, that means it can get real extreme with some Jean Greys, Wolverines.
I used to, now get me wrong, I used to be one that believed in evolution theory because I was smart enough not to believe in the creation story. And I was believing in evolution theory for a long while until I started listening to my elders, until I started enlightening my mind, until I started researching and going into conscious knowledge and feeding my mind with the knowledge that my oppressor would never fucking teach me about us. So I don't expect you to know. Why is our hair a coil? Because our hair literally matched the cosmos. All the spirals. The spirals, the coils, our hair is antennas. What's in the light bulb? That coil. What's the shape of tornadoes and hurricanes and galaxies and universes? Spirals. What is the number that represents 100% in Egypt hieroglyphics? The 9 spiral, not a 100 like they taught you. No. The same 9 spiral that's on the top of every melaninated being's head. The same 9 spiral that is on our fingerprints to let us know and help us remember what the fuck we come from. Yeah, some of our blood was used to create y'all, so y'all have similarities. But y'all didn't evolve from us. And y'all was not first. So what? What we gonna do with that? What we gonna do with that? Anyway, y'all. I don't care who get rubbed the wrong way. Told you. I ain't here for nobody's comfort, nobody's feelings. I done awakened all the fuck away. And it was something that needed to happen. And the universe then activated me. So, motherfuckers, act like they your friends. They your friends until. They your friends until. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I done lost some white friends. I have. Because they get in their feelings. I go research into your own history. You know what I'm saying? Research that shit. Make connections. I try to say we come from apes. How?
Black men and women got long legs and short bodies. White men and women got short legs and long bodies. Now, if all of us up here took off our clothes and one white boy took off his clothes, which one you think would have hair all over their body? Huh? Now, look at the lips. Them lips is thinner than razor blades. Look at them. Huh? Look at them. But he won't believe that's you when he know it's him.
Even though they say we look like them, some Africans try to say they look like monkeys or gorillas. But see, the thing is, we all naturally come from this shit. They may mirror. Because we all naturally came from the cosmos. Plants mirror us. Huh? The same shit that made them is the same shit that made us. The same shit that they come from is the same shit we come from. We are all naturally made beings. When I was trying to be humble to said individuals, I was really trying to, like, I don't want to post or say anything that I thought that would offend them. And, I don't want to do that to my precious Thena, I'm not gonna post that. Because, you know, she's got white friends and they follow me too. And, you know, I'm just gonna be chill and just keep posting these other kinds of things because, yeah. All in all, though, the whole point of me talking about all of the extra stuff in the video and showing all of the video clips and everything is because, like, yo, you check me about Yeshua's birthday, okay, the day or whatever. First of all, I feel like this. Don't check me about mine. Don't check me about my ancestor. Don't you think I would get offended if somebody was celebrating his birthday on the wrong day? That's my ancestor. So it's like, if anything, it's my job. I need to be checking y'all. I need to be checking the world. Call him by his right name. That ain't his birthday. Fuck you mean? The white man got y'all twisted. All twisted. It's not my fault. Okay? And I am also more than an artist. And more than just music. It's more to black people. It's more to melanin people than just our music, our culture, and you know, sports and all of the fun parts of us that people love. They love when we out here tap dancing. They love it. But when they get real, like, we the gods. We descended from God. We are the chosen people. We are we come from the cosmos. We organically made. We don't know where nobody else came from. We don't know, but there's remnants and there's studies that have been found and research has been done, and a lot of things is coming out as to where other people came from now. But I'm just saying, like, we want recognition for the other parts of us. Can we get some recognition from y'all? The other parts of us, the innovation parts. Can people do podcasts about how Africa? How about how Africa over there with clean energy from plants? Why they over here making us pay whole DTE fucking bills? Got us paying whole DTE bills. Oh, how about the charging cars that don't even need to be charged? Africa over there. Imagine I got me an African electric car and I'm gonna drive right on past one of these American electric cars that's at the charging station. Like, what up? We on our way to the future. How about that? How about America needs to start taking their lead on how they conduct themselves on all type of shit. The direction they going as far as the advancement of their population, the whole populace. The direction they're trying to go, despite the corruption. Some shit that fucking mattered. Fucking Britney Spears. Who the fuck give a fuck about that bitch? You know, all the little dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Nothing about, you know, I don't know, man. I always used to wonder, like, wow, she would try to have me sit in these podcasts with her, and it ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Nothing to do with nothing for real. You know, the trans people, okay, yeah, we know to fight with them motherfuckers. But it's just like, there's no bigger picture. You know what I'm saying? I think she's just too scared to tread certain lines. You know what I'm saying? But again, that's why I had to just do me. Aki speaks. That means I'm going to say what the fuck ever I want to say over here, because this is mine. You feel me? This is mine. Just like stuff is other people's, this is mine. You feel me? So all of what I said was not to be offensive at all, but it had to be said because I'm gonna need folks to know, like, you gotta come off that high horse. You got to. Sips tea. But I think I'm finished, y'all. I'm finna go meditate this shit right the fuck on up out of me the rest of the way. I got shit to do and other things to worry about now. So this just needed to happen. So excuse me, whoever else. This ain't got nothing to do with everybody else that's looking or watching. This ain't got nothing to do with y'all. So, but this is the last time I'm speaking on this. Peace. I'm out.
Ancestors tell me get the planet back, I'ma go. Who was the kings and queens of Egypt? That was us. Yeah, I know. You know that Avatar movie written about us? Yeah, I know. You know your melanin is worth a fucking bust? Yeah, I know. When I see the ops, now I cannot bust. You my bro. God and goddesses, you not a bitch, not a hoe. Take that stupid ass wig off and let that ether grow. Before a reptilian take my kill, we going toe to toe. Get on an alkaline diet, wanna make that skin glow. Will I ever get my fucking planet back? I don't know. Where the DNA activation at? I don't know. Wanna me? Fuck this world up so y'all cool, gotta go. All God wanted me to do is pick up the phone. But when I pick up the phone, God put me on the throne. Girl, I love nappy hair, girl, here is a comb. Cause how the fuck is God a man if we all came from a womb? And bitch, we all God, so don't come to my tomb. Like how? How is God a man? Like we come from a womb. Like we all come from a womb. Like what the fuck is common sense?